Please, everyone, forgive me on that one. Right. Many PA employers start with paper-based systems because they feel familiar and straightforward. However, as your disability progresses or your capacity fluctuates, paper systems can become physically demanding, time-consuming, and challenging to manage. Transitioning to digital tools reduces physical effort and fatigue, reduces the risk of losing paperwork, allows access to information from anywhere on any device, makes it easier to update documents without rewriting everything. Your experience of gradually moving admin online highlights how technology incorporates independence and reduces the need for PAs being aware of private documents. Google Suite, OneDrive, and Dropbox allow PA employers to store everything in one place, including get to know me documents, care plans, house manuals, employee handbooks, emergency guides, contracts, payroll records, all of that kind of thing. By sharing specific folders with PAs, everyone has access to the information they need when they need it without repeatedly asking questions. This is particularly helpful for new PAs or when updates are made. Shared drives and templates further reduce workload by removing the need to create documents from scratch, supporting consistency and best practices. Apps like Todoist, Trello, and Monday.com turn complex care management into clear, manageable systems. Todoist supports daily routines, medication changes, and recurring tasks. Trello can offer a simple visual overview of who is doing what and when. Monday.com is ideal for managing larger teams or complex care needs with built-in automation and reporting. Shared task lists ensure PAs are clear on expectations, reducing mistakes, repetition, and stress of everyone involved. Traditional phone-based communication doesn't work for everyone. Your Google Chat instead of WhatsApp. You can use Google Chat instead of WhatsApp, but WhatsApp is still a very good option. If you are using Google Chat, one thing I would say is that's linked with emails. So you might want to share all of your team's phone numbers and any other important phone numbers with your PAs when they start. I had a situation where a new PA, there was a crisis and the PA needed to get hold of the other shift member. And because I use Google Chat now, they were unable to get hold of them. And that it was a bit of a stressful situation. My mum was very poorly and it was all very confusing. And so after that, I then realised Google Chat is great. However, Google Chat runs off emails. So if you do use it, make sure you share phone numbers. I don't mean to say that I'm not implying anyone's stupid, but you know what it's like. Sometimes when you're onboarding a new PA, things like that can just drop out your mind. And equally vice versa. If you use WhatsApp, make sure you share emails with your new PA so that they can get hold of everyone. As some people prefer email to calling and text message. The benefits of using Google Chat or WhatsApp include communicating from a computer or iPad rather than a phone, keeping all PA communication linked to work email accounts, creating a written record of instructions and decisions, faster, clearer communication without constant calls. Other employers may prefer Facebook Messenger. Innovation means there are multiple options and there is no one right way. Maintaining a clear paper trail is essential for PA employers, both for clarity and legal protection. Using email, shared drives, and digital folders allows employers to confirm instructions in writing, document conversations and decisions, store contracts, disciplinary records, and payroll information securely, access information quickly if disputes arise. Having everything organised digitally provides reassurance and reduces anxiety about missing something important. I originally started when I've been an employer for 16 years, and I originally started as paper. All the handover forms were printed out on paper, we made a communication book and all of that kind of thing. And I moved over to digital because I was finding it tricky to access the documents when I needed to, if my funding body wanted to see the care logs and different reasons. So I moved over to digital slowly. I personally use Google Suite and Microsoft Suite for all of my documentation. I also, my PAs, when they join my team, I give them a work email. It's just a free one from Google. I don't pay for anything. And it just means that I then have control because I've set it up and I know I set it up with my recovery details and with their passwords. That means A, if something's wrong with their account, I can pop in and fix it for them. But also B, it means I have control. I mean, don't get me wrong, of course they could change those details. But I have it in their contracts and their employee handbook that they can't do that now. That's something that got added by my employer's insurance. But it's just really, really useful because it means you can access things so much quicker. And it also means that essentially my PAs were reading personal documents of mine because they were helping me sort them out, reach them, scan them, print them, all that kind of thing. Whereas now we've gone digital. It has really been a great source of independence. I'm a lot more independent now, and it's a lot easier because I can password protect things, fingerprint protect them, face ID and all of those kind of things. It means I'm really meeting the GDPR rules and regulations a lot better. I found that having everything on paper, now this is just me, of course, but having everything on paper means it's a little bit harder to make sure everything stays private. Of course, there are ways, don't get me wrong, and absolutely, I'm not saying that everyone has to go digital. There's pros and cons to them both, really. They're both very useful. Technology allows PA employers to manage time proactively rather than reactively. Google Calendar can be shared with PAs to show rotas, appointments, and household routines. Alerts help new PAs or support changes such as new medications. Online meetings via Google Meet, Zoom, Microsoft Teams reduce the pressure of in-person meetings. Recorded meetings with consent provide accurate notes without extra cognitive effort. This approach supports transparency while respecting everyone's time. I suffer with a lot of cognitive fatigue, and I find it really helpful that when we do meetings, and that's good ones or bad ones, supervisions or appraisals, if we do good or bad, because I've got everything written down on a Google Doc that I share with them, it just makes life a lot easier. And I have in the past had some PAs that they like me to fill in my feedback on the form I have, and then they read it, they put theirs, and we do it online that way. So that's one way of doing things. You can do in-person ones, appraisals and supervisions. You can do them on the phone. You can do them on video call. There's so many different options out there. There really are. And sometimes a bit of both, a bit of hard copy and a bit of online. For example, my Mars chart, which is my medication chart for when I have antibiotics and things like that, that I can't get a format of that we can fill in online. So I do still print that. We fill it in, and once it's done, I scan it, upload it to my drive, and then dispose of the printout. So I find that's that's still a really good way of doing things. Sorry, folks, yeah. Okay. Managing funding responsibility is a significant part of being a PA employer. Spreadsheets such as Google Sheets or Microsoft Sheets can help track PA hours, care budgets, insurance renewals, service contracts. Pairing spreadsheets with digital calendars ensures key deadlines aren't missed. Accounting software like QuickBooks, is it Xero or is it Xero? It's Xero. Do forgive me for not pronouncing that correctly. Reduces workload by automating calculations and reductions, tracking expenses in real time, supporting legal and tax compliance. For those who don't want to manage their payroll themselves, payroll providers offer flexible options. and you can liaise with them using Google Suite, Dropbox, or OneDrive in order to access documents. Innovation has made secure data storage more accessible than ever, in my opinion. As an employer, we can store sensitive data in encrypted, password protected cloud systems, limit access to PAs, only see documents relevant to them, use app level security, such as a password or fingerprint lock or Face ID, scan documents to reduce physical paperwork. Separating PA admin from personal accounts adds another layer of protection, ensuring compliance with GDPR and safeguarding both you and your PAs. And with that, I mean, I like to give my PAs their own work-related Google account, rather than them having access to all my personal information on their email, because their personal email, I can't tell them what to do with that. So I like to give them a work one where I do have more freedom to be able to say, no, you can't do that, or, whatever the case may be. Automation reduces repetitive tasks and mental overload. For example, scheduling emails in Gmail, setting recurring tasks in Todoist, using Monday.com automations for updates and notifications, automating expense tracking and financial reporting. This allows you to batch admin on set days each month, rather than having to do it on the daily. Creating clear boundaries and protecting your well-being, something that PA employers need to prioritise, in my opinion. Innovation here is not about removing human connection, but about preserving it by reducing burnout. So it's really important to me that with my admin for my care needs, I have 3 days a month that I set as my admin days. So my PAs, they'll email me and ask me to do things. If it's urgent, I get them to put that in the subject and I'll deal with it there and then, because some things are. But if it's not urgent, then they all know when my 3 days are that month, so they know they'll have to wait until one of those days. I think sometimes that employers can get bogged down with answering every second, answering every text, answering every email there and then, because it's all on our phones now and our iPads and our tablets and our laptops and everything. So I think it's so easy to just end up doing effectively work all of the time. And I definitely found that I was in that spiral of doing so. And since setting set days and putting limitations on the amount of requests they can give me and just essentially being more realistic of when I can complete it, because they need days off, they want annual leave, they want time away from their job. But equally, we as employers deserve that too. So I think that's a really useful tip and something that's really helped me. Technology also enables delegation. You can have someone in your life can access shared systems, or your PAs can. Payroll can continue even if you're unwell. If you set up online resources, for example, with my payroll, my timesheets for my PAs, I've shared with my payroll, so they know that someone will email them and tell them I'm sick, and they will then process everything. And then I also have someone else that will process the payments for me. So having those online systems can really be helpful. And having people that help you could be anyone, friend, family, one of your PAs, someone from a direct payment support service, or there's a whole range of people that you can have help you. And by being digital, it allows you to be able to share it. They could be in France and you could be in Germany, and they'd be able to get it if it's online. So I find that really helpful. Technology and innovation give PA employers control over how they manage their care, flexibility as your needs change, reduced physical and cognitive strain, stronger boundaries, and improved well-being. There is no single right system. The key message from today is choice, flexibility, and permission to change. Remember, you can be doing one thing for years and change your mind whenever you want. You can try 5 different options of ways of doing things in a row. It's your life and your care, and you have the right to play around until it suits you. And remember, as your change as a person, as well as your disability and your medical conditions change, you still have you'll still have that flexibility that it is your care and you can change things. I know it can be scary sometimes when you've been doing something the same way for so long. And I found it really scary moving from paper to online, particularly as at the time I had quite a few older PAs that really struggled with technology. So I gave them 7 training days where they came round and I showed them everything. And we went through it again and again. And I let them ask me questions. And I let them retry it again and again until it got into their head. By taking small steps, experimenting with tools, and involving your PAs, if you'd like to, in the process, you can create systems that support, not overwhelm your lives. Ultimately, the right tools don't just help you manage care more effectively, they give you back time, energy, and space to live your life. That is my speech now. I will turn it off.